Cooking with the vegan zombie. Oh, hey. If you're here right now, chances are you're out there looking for the perfect sauce. Well, tonight I'm gonna show you my go-to tomato sauce. It's perfect on pasta, for your pizza, or whatever your little heart can imagine. All you need is a tomato and a dream. To start, you're gonna need a nice bowl right here filled with about 12 or 13 Roma tomatoes. You're gonna wanna take the seeds out because the seeds make the sauce taste bitter if they're left in. Slice the tomato in quarters. Take out the seeds and then throw them in a strainer because you're gonna wanna save those juices. Next, you're gonna wanna cut them up into a medium dice. All right, guys, I finally finished chopping up all those tomatoes. Now remember, if you can't find fresh tomatoes because it's the middle of a zombie apocalypse where you are, you can use canned tomatoes. This recipe calls for 2 of them. Now before we head over to our saucepan, we got all these guts of those tomatoes. We gotta press it, get all those juices out. So you're gonna want a nice fine strainer here. And just keep pressing with a spatula. Perf. That is perf right there. Doesn't get any more perf than that. Okay, you're gonna wanna turn your saucepan on a medium heat and add a tablespoon of olive oil. In this little contraption right here, I've got 3 cloves of minced garlic. We're gonna toss that in with the olive oil. And you're just gonna wanna stir this for a minute before you add your chopped tomatoes. Crank the heat on high for just a few minutes, just a few! And we're gonna add that juice. You remember that juice I was talking about earlier? That's the juice we're gonna add, juice. While this is getting up to a boil, just keep on stirring it so nothing sticks to the bottom of the pan, because that's just gonna be a disgusting mess, and you're gonna be a very unhappy person, much like a zombie. Which zombies aren't really people, so. Anyway, what we have here, we have a teaspoon of dried basil and a teaspoon of dried oregano. You wanna use dry herbs when you're making a sauce because they have a lot more flavor to them, and fresh herbs are gonna just kinda get all mashed up and look nasty. If you're gonna use fresh herbs in something, you're gonna wanna put it in at the very end. Now, for a little fun in this recipe, I'm gonna add a small amount of crushed red pepper. A pinch, or 1/8 of a teaspoon. I also added a pinch of black pepper. Now, for a tiny little bit of sweetness, I like to add some agave, about a teaspoon. And of course, that's optional. Once your sauce gets up to a boil, you're gonna wanna turn it down to low heat and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Well, our sauce is all done. Just one simple step. Salt to taste. We're gonna sprinkle a couple of teaspoons of sea salt on there. Stir that in and you're ready to enjoy it. Now, I like my sauce chunky, so I'm gonna leave it as is. But if you want a nice smooth sauce, feel free to blend this up and put it wherever you want it. There's only one thing left to do. A good old-fashioned taste test. I got Papa Bear spoon here. Perfect. This is gonna be your go-to sauce. Whenever you're having a little party, you got some tomatoes, you're gonna throw this bad boy together and you're gonna have yourself a grand old time. As always, subscribe, survive, and high five. See ya.